Hi, thanks for choosing a genuine Tioli product. Look, this is just hobby stuff. This is not professional, so going with that, I recommend you have a hobby knife because a sharp one, because you're going to need it. So you're going to have to buy that. I won't supply one of those. I do like to use a chef's knife. Strangely enough, for a lot of things I do, they're just good. So I like to have those around. You're going to need a pen that'll write on waxy paper, because if you get this wrong, you're going to have to recut a second one for yourself. So you need some kind of pen that'll write on waxy paper. Doesn't matter what it is, some kind of a marker. And what you'll get in your kit, you can choose the colour that suits your bike. And if the colour's not here, I can get another colour. So talk to me, we'll work it out, right? So you end up with three, and or six all up, because there's three each side, and they're different. And they're different shapes to different sizes. So I've got these metal templates. I'll cut them out, and you'll get three, whatever colours you choose, and they're all three different sizes. If you get it wrong, I'll also include three spare ones, one of each colour. If you've got three different colours, or three of the same colour, depending on what you want to do. You'll get spare just blank pieces like this, so that with the backing paper you can cut your own again. So just in case, because it is tricky and you need a few little dexterity skills, and I've had my own problems with it. So just it's a hobby thing. It looks nice on the bike, a little bit of bling where it's missing. So just take your time, and this is the kind of thing I enjoy, and hope you get something out of it too. Thank you. Before we put this piece on, we have to clean it. Now, you can clean that with soap if you want to, but the idea of cleaning is that this is plastic, and plastic, I don't know if it's painted or not, but plastic has like an oil base to it, so you need to wash that off so it can stick as best it can. Now, you could spray it with contact cleaner, that wouldn't be a problem. You could use like a prep sol, which is what they use if they're going to paint it, pre-prep for painting. Or you could use an alcohol wipe, and which is just happen to have a few at the moment, so that's what I'm going to use myself. You just need to get in there and just give it a good clean with an alcohol wipe. Now, it's just as easy to do this still on the bike as what it is to take it off. You can do either one. I did the other side. I took it off, and it's uncomfortable in your lap when you're doing it, so it's no real better. So get up there, wherever it's going to go, and just, come back. Give it a good clean. You'll get all that oil and grease off there, even if you can't see it. Now, this is how it's pre-bent, right? So that's how it's pre-bent right there. This bit hasn't been pre-bent, but it's ready to go. While I'm talking, that's evaporating away. So a good sign that it's going to be something that'll work for you is that it'll evaporate off, and they'll leave it dry. Now also, I would recommend that I haven't peeled the plastic off this yet, but I recommend that you, as much as you can, get a feel for how you're going to put on there. Like there is a clue along that very bottom edge there. See that bottom edge there? That has to line up with this here. So you've got to get comfortable to put it in there with your fingers, and can you hold it in there? It does rock backwards and forwards a little bit, so you've got a little bit of room there to play with. That bottom edge is where it wants to stick. It wants to go up inside there. That edge along there, it wants to make it look nice, work with the other edges. So you've got to have that down. That relief cut I've put in there that runs this way, so it will bend without having to pop up or whatever. Remember, this stuff doesn't like to bend very much. That lines up. So get comfortable with whatever you're going to do. Now, you can get your fingers in behind there. This is made, I guess I don't have to, but I've made it so it's longer than what it needs to be, and we have to come back along there and trim that off later, and I'll show you how to do that. You can do it with this panel still on, but I find it easier with the panel off, and I'll show you in a second how to take that panel off. It's only 3 Torx screws, I think. So I'm comfortable with that. I'll put that in there. I know the relief bends there. That lines up nicely. Okay, I should be able to go with that. My fingers can hold it. Now, remember, this stuff is very sticky, and wherever it touches it wants to stick. So whatever you do, don't put any weight on it. Just let gravity touch it if it wants to, but just when you try and get it in there, hold it as least amount as possible, get it into place, and go with it. Also remember that there is also another bar just inside there, so don't go poking the top, you've got to be on the bottom one. Okay, that alcohol is just about dried off now, so I'm good to go. Now, I like to use one of these hobby knives, and you'll be needing a hobby knife later on, so can I see? I'm just checking my fingers what I can see. Okay, let's go and peel this off. I can touch the edges, and there's no rush with this. Right, keep that. Remember, if we have a problem, I have to redo it. You've got spares, so there's a relief cut put in there, so put that away, keep it safe. Now, so I've got this. Now, settle down, no rush at this stage, right? Now, I like to just stick that on there. Still no rush, no panic at this stage. Below that other one, so I'll get that in. Remember, it's going to touch on this edge and it's going to touch up that edge. So one of my cues is this end down here and that end in there. Whoops, I wanted to touch. So let's look. That just, look how it's stuck already, and that was just gravity. Good, off you go. You're not in place yet. Push a bit more in there. Still not in place yet. Don't go sticking on me. It wants to stick, but it won't stick as long as you don't force it. It won't stick hard yet. Alright, so that's in there. That's just about in there. Oh, now, you see that moved nicely then? So it's getting close now. I just need to push it in that way a little bit. Come on, don't stick. I haven't said stick yet. Right, that lines up, that lines up. Not quite lining up how I want it to, so okay, we're good. Okay, that lines up there. So now that was with a hobby knife. Back. I'll use this knife here to press it down. With the non-sharp end, I'll just help that crease right there. That's where the crease is there. Now, if you've got warm weather, that'll bend there nicely. If you've got cold weather, like it's winter here now, I'm all rubbed up, you can put just a little bit, light bit of heat go on there, or breathe on it, or something, or massage it for a while. But just try and get a bit of warmth in there, and that bit of warmth then will let it sit in that spot. So that is just to make it push down. A little bit left over cutting there, right. Okay, we're good to go. Now, I'll show you on the other side how we trim that now on the other side to make that nice, but that works there like that. This is not so easy to show, but on the other side, you want to be cutting with a knife where it's longer, just downwards like this. So the motion is a downwards cut, and it wants to be on the opposite side right in there. So I might have it go without the light. So just a downwards cut. I don't know if you can see it from here. Working my way along. Move that over. Can you see that? There you go. Here you can see it. So I'm just working my way along. Got it. There you go. There's the piece. Just check that I've got it all. A little bit left. It's all cut. It's just gone stuck to something. Anyway, I'll fish that out. The tank's just there on that one. The other ones here, they were on truly clear, so they're easy. But you've got to trim that down, downwards, and then go back over it again, like I did with a knife, to push it back down along there. And all should be good. That should stick there for good. It should stick there for life, actually. I don't expect to have any trouble with that. If you're prepared that well with whatever you use, contact cleaner, paint prep or the alcohol wipes. It should stick there for good. So thank you for getting one of these, and I hope you enjoy it. If you have a problem sticking it on there and you've got to do it again, don't worry about it. Just use your backing strip off the one you buggered up. Mind you, I've buggered up a few myself. This is not the one I'm using right now, but just use your backing strip. Put it on your spare piece that you've got, and make sure that you line up a few things. Now, look at your spare piece. You can see a nice sharp line along there. Choose which, they're both sharp lines, so choose which side you want to be on the outside. And then also choose which is your top going to be, because that's the top. If it's going to be the left hand side, you've got to just work out the right way for that, or the right hand side, and the outside is the little end. So you've got to work with that. So I'll make that the outside. It's going to be on the right hand side. I'll do this one. So up and up would be like that, and flip it over. So now I have to work out exactly how to mark it. So the edges I want to watch, this edge along here, there is a bit of a dip right there. That's where the cut goes, the relief cut goes. So, and this is how I made them in the first place. So it's just my metal template here. Now, use one of these. Use one of these, or you can just use a marker. It doesn't matter what you use. But it's got to be something that will write on here, because a pen won't do it properly. That's usually just a spot there. And down, and normally that comes to about there, as I said. And that's where the cut will go. So that's that. Then whatever scissors you use, I have a few pairs around the place. Here we go. Whichever scissors you use, when you cut it, you should cut it in such a way that you don't see the black line anymore. So it should be, because you've got to presume that when you mark it, you're marking it outside your plastic template. So just cut it so there's no black line left anymore. I found the best way with this is to have it right up to where you want it. Dunk. And then right up to where you want it, no black line left. This one, that will be your relief cut there, so you need to do like in a little bit, probably a bit much there, but doesn't matter. And right up to where you want it, a little bit more. This one here. Okay, so whoops, I can go and do it all again now, and that's my piece with that little bit of relief there, because that's the shape. It's got to, when it goes on, it changes direction there, and this stuff really doesn't like to bend very much. Now the next thing you need to do is to put the pre-bend in there. So I'm going to do this on the right hand side just to show you what it looks like. So I need to make a bend along here to that relief cut there. So along there I need to bend it. So the easiest way I've found to do it is, now one thing is, don't do this in the cold. This stuff doesn't like to bend much in the cold, so warm it up your hands if it's cold. If it's just, you know, a normal day, depends where you live. Warm it up a little bit, not too much. Oops. Now, just on there, to that very spot where that relief cut is, to that corner there, relief cut to the corner, push down on your ruler or whatever you're using. What can I use to pick that up with? There we go, my fingers. Pick that up and just give it a bit of a bend. The idea of the bend is that it will just help it a little bit when you go to stick it down. Massage it, talk to it nicely, come on, be my friend. That's that sort of stuff. There we go. And there's your pre-bend, right? You just need that. It's in that corner there, whoops, in that corner there, to that relief there, and it's just a little bit of a pre-bend to give it motivation to bend there. So that'll be bent that way, and it'll be bent that way. Okay, so there's that bit. So if you have to redo them, not to worry, you've got your leftover from here, but you'll just peel that off, and you can use that on your spare pieces, and you have 3 spare pieces, different sizes, and you can, whichever ones you bugger up, you can sort it out. So that's spare. I put the gold one over the top of my silver one just to see what it looks like. And that's it in there. Just, I don't know what that, I reckon that'd be nice with a gold coloured bike and that. 3 of those though, but there doesn't have to be. You could mess it up whichever way you want it. There you go, there's the magic spot where it all comes alive. But, ooh, maybe I wasn't quite in the magic spot where it all comes alive. There you go, that's it right there. It all works together. But then you move away and it all just disappears. Quite subtle. Anyway, for this bike, that's my colour. Let's see if this bike a bit better. Let's have a look on the magic spot. Ah, there we go. The magic spot. Yeah, nice. Very nice indeed. If you had a blue bike and you had 3 blue ones, that'd really, it'd look like you wouldn't hardly see it, and then just get in this spot and it'll just bang, hit you. Anyway, very nice.